There we go. Episode 9 of Rounding the Bases. Rounding the Bases, episode 9. Here we go. We're going to be talking, just a little preview of what we're going to be talking. If you've been living under the rock the last couple of days, you know that, and you're not aware that baseball has been kind of like the top news in sports. We're going to be covering some of that. But we're going to start with MLB The Show news. So we got new event came out on Thursday. Now you're able to get the Red Sox legend. You hear that, Smog? Red Sox legend, which there's an award for the best pitcher named after him, Cy Young. You're able to get Signature Series Cy Young, 98 overall. Solid card. Obviously, it's a Red Sox. So if you're doing the Red Sox all-time team build, you can add him. Smog is not liking this. So I guess Smog is not going to be playing the event, but the event is going to be future stars and breakout players, and then Bronson under, I believe. So 3 inning games, all-star, easy stuff. 20 wins. Smog, you're playing that or what?
I mean, when you get a pitcher who's just going to give up a whole bunch of home runs, I don't know what the point.
I mean,
I'll be playing it.
If you start giving up a home run, I think it's going to be time to start looking at yourself in the mirror at some point.
Stop.
Hey, I mean,
me.
It is what it is.
The game screws me.
Partner, you playing it? What do you think? Thoughts about that new event?
Oh,
yeah, you're the partner. Get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the partner.
Okay. I didn't know if that was Samuel Adams or like what, but hey, man, yeah, I'm gonna play the event. I always love the events. Did you say it was Hall of Fame difficulty?
All-star 3 inning games.
That's kind of a bummer, but I love the events. For me, it's a quick. I like to play 2 or 3 event games before I jump into ranked seasons. I'm a ranked seasons guy, so events are fun because it's free. Not that stubs are really an issue at this time of year, but it's free, and you can get in and see pitches before you jump into ranked seasons for sure. For sure, no matter what the reward is, I'm gonna do it. The All-Star,
You warm up. But you can use it to warm up.
Yeah.
So you're not. So I guess you're a partner now. So All-Star, you're more of a Hall of Famer now, huh?
Well, no, it's just for whatever reason I do better when that PCI is smaller. But yeah, but that once it gets to legend, I stand no chance. So that Hall of Fame window seems to be
perfect.
For me.
Yeah,
that's why I'll never go 12-0 ever. That's impossible. I don't know how you guys do it.
I mean, first of all, you'll need a hoodie. That's the first step.
That's step one. You got one today, didn't you?
I got one today. Double digits. That's my 10th of the year. 10th time.
Let's go.
Which, by the way, Adam, should we break the news for those that don't know of what's going to be happening in MLB The Show 20?
Do it.
Adam and I are going to be teaming up. And we're going to be
I don't even know this stuff. What's going on?
We're going to be facing Scuffy McGee and Quash during the whole MLB The Show 20 year to see who's going to have more flawless runs.
Oh, right. Snap.
So yeah, I'm gonna need Adam to carry me.
Nah.
So you guys are teamed up?
You're gonna get 20 plus next year.
So
we're gonna get 100 together, all 4 of us.
So that's the thing. We're gonna have to. We're also teaming up for all 4. All 4 of us are gonna try to get 100 flawless runs between the 4 of us. But we're gonna add the ones that Adam gets and mine to compare them to Scuffy and Quash and see who gets more. It's a little friendly
stuff in there for the winners.
Yeah, there'll probably be something.
Yeah, you know what we should do? We should, as the rest of the house, we should all bring Razor Sharp in and see if he can outbeat all 4 of you guys.
Listen,
we're having that conversation.
We talked about this. Right? Yeah, we talked about if So and Razor, because So is gonna be back on Monday.
Oh, Zoe's back.
So he's warming up for 20.
How do we forget about Zoe?
So if So and Razor Sharp, just them 2, they can get the 100 between them 2. So it's not fair to match up.
Split them up.
They're on their own. Yeah, they're on their own league. They're a league on their own. Yeah. So
that's actually a really good concept, guys. You should run with that. That's awesome.
Oh, we're doing it, but I feel like I don't know if there's gonna be like a top 50 next year for MLB The Show 20, and I feel like if there was, I wanted to do it, but I'm like, in 19, I also enjoyed BR a lot. A lot more than ranked season. So I'm sure Adam did too, and that's why he's jumping in on this as well. So
Yeah, I like the 3-inning concept. I've always been about that.
Yeah.
I always said like I can't concentrate in 9 innings.
and it kicks in. You can't. Yeah. I feel like for me, the 9-inning games are more of a, like, I feel like I'm a better player in 9 innings because I can study my opponent and I can kind of like make the necessary adjustments. But I just been enjoying, draft, even from the process of like drafting. I enjoy that, and then just see what team I can build and go from there. So
It's fun. I enjoy it.
What do you prefer, Smog? You like events or?
Oh, I know what he is.
I'm a ranked seasons guy.
How many games you got?
I almost got 1,300 games.
Yeah.
In ranked seasons online. So I mean, I'm just trying to start the BR thing. All-Star frustrates the shit out of me. But
Yeah, it does. Like, and that's the thing, and that it's like people don't realize how difficult it is to go 12-0. Like some people
I think it's the hardest
like,
thing in the game.
I think 12-0 is harder than World Series.
Oh yeah. No
I
doubt.
agree.
Not to give any credit to JoJo, but
No, I'll take the credit. I'll take it. Yeah, but for sure, I think it is too. Like if you think you have to win 12 games in a row that are 3-inning games with the same rules, right? You're gonna have kind of like the same rules for everyone. So it's an even playing field. It's tough, man. It's tough for sure. But yeah,
And so many variables, so many things can happen. You got those, the really good hitters usually against, the bad starters. I've seen, you guys put up 8-9 runs in the first inning, and then the guy not quit, and he put up 8-9 runs. I'm like, dude, it takes me 3 weeks to do that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It takes a lot of luck.
and
It's
strategy. Yeah,
unbelievable.
you have to be good at the game too. Like you have to be good. To go 12-0 so many times, you have to be a beast, anyways. Like Adam have gone. How many times have you gone 12-0? 20.
Yesterday was 28.
28.
And hey, you take a lot of time off too. If you actually grinded like every day, through stretches, you'd probably get 100. You guys should make that a goal, 100.
Yeah, we're going for 100.
for sure.
We're going for 100. And it's the same thing. I know Scuffy took a few months off. He became a father, so he was a couple months off. I started really grinding the BR kind of like July, August. I got one like maybe in June, and they didn't play it until like August. I took a couple months off. I don't think I would have been able to get to 28 regardless, but we can always try and see if we can get the 100. But yeah, that's BR. Events is out. Started Thursday. Go get you a Cy Young. It's gonna be better than any Yankees pitcher that you can have there. So enjoy him. We'll move on.
Don't forget also the World Series resets on Monday, so get your World Series this weekend, guys.
Exactly. For those that, if you're close, if you're in the 850s, you got a couple more days. Jugsy, you World Series already or what?
Man, I started at 8:42 last night. And, after the celebration or whatnot, and I was just completely exhausted. No excuses. I lost a heartbreaker in extras game 1. I think I got pounded out game 2, and then game 3, another heartbreaker. I think in extras again. I don't remember, but I dropped all the way to 790 something. So, and I don't know if I have much play time, so I don't know if I'm going to make it this season. Might have to wait till next.
You're still a 2-time World Series champion, right?
I wanted that. I wanted that 3-peat though, but it kind of gives you an idea of like, even at this time of the year when it's still at the end of the cycle, it's not easy. I play a lot of games. I got almost 100 in this season, embarrassingly so.
Well, it took me like 15 games to get there. Probably like 13.
Knock it off.
But hey, Adam, did you make it? Did you?
No, I didn't even try.
You didn't even write.
I've played 5 ranked seasons games this season.
I think you were playing some ranked seasons games with whatever your subs were making the team for you, right?
Yeah, I've gone full sellout this week.
Hey, be proud of it. We'll be proud of it. No need to be like.
I saw Dimmy was doing it, so I'm like, it's actually a good idea. So it's $5 or 500 biddies, and they can just build whatever lineup they want me to play. It could be all common team, it could be whatever.
That's
they put some good teams together, and I still lost.
Well, I was doing it kind of like a sub perk. Hey, if you're a sub, you can create my team, but just make it 95 overall and above. Like I made it like I want to be able to get closer to World Series as well. But I
Yeah.
kind of like that. That's a sellout. Okay.
Yeah. Full
Okay.
sellout mode.
So there's only 2 World Series champion in this. Okay, Smog. Hey, there you go, Smog.
I got something, baby. I
You got
something.
something.
Uh-huh.
Wow, congrats. Well, I made World Series. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't grind it a whole lot, so. But yeah,
Nice.
the price
Congrats, man.
there's stubs there. There's stubs. Definitely stubs there.
Oh yeah, every card, all those cards, the World Series rewards and the BR rewards are
Oh my God, yes.
insanely expensive. It's crazy.
I got
Crazy.
from my 12-0 today. I got Eric Gagne. He was set like the quick sell was 750. The sell now was 750,000 stubs. I sold him. I got the 750 there. I pulled like 89 and over. I got Rob Dibble. I don't have him, and he's going for like 60 something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it because I actually reached 2 million stubs for the
Wow.
I reached 1 million stubs a couple weeks ago for the first time ever, and I'm at 2 million stubs, and I don't even know what to do right now. Yo,
Buy
can
packs.
well, I bought, so I had I think I had 2 million in like about 2.1 million, something like that. And I spent like 100,000 on packs today after the stream, after the flawless run. So can we get a stub account? Smog, what's yours? Where you at?
I'm at I think 775,000.
Not bad. Jugsy?
I think I'm at 183,000, something like that.
You need a 12-0. You need
Yeah,
a 12-0.
that's not gonna happen. I promise
I
you
say
that.
this all the time. I say this all the time. I think anybody that puts in enough work in BR can go 12-0. You just because you get into a groove of like the players you like to use, the drafting process you use, and once you get that going, you can definitely get it. You go on a little roll, 12-0 roll,
I've been 10-0 and then lost 2 straight.
and you can definitely do it. 100% you can do it.
But,
Listen, my
gotta
12-0
put time
run,
into it.
I agree. My 12 run today, I think I scored more than 6 runs once, and it was with somebody that literally quit after I scored 2 runs with nobody else. So I had to expand on that lead. I think I ended up winning like 10-0, but I was winning with like scoring 2 and 3 runs. Like it's not even like it was the pitching that carried me this, and my bullpen wasn't like all that great. I had the Mark. You got English is hard. Mark Melanson. Is that it? The diamond version, 85,
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
He was my number 1 guy coming out of the pen. I had Silver Billy Wagner, and I had Chris Davinsky, who's a silver 75 with a nasty changeup, apparently. I didn't know until today.
Yeah, he's dirty.
That was my bullpen. That was it. And I was able to go 12-0. I have no idea. I wasn't playing well at all. So I think it's possible. It's like you just, once you get warmed up, you find like I started hitting a little bit better after the 6th game. But it's definitely possible. If you make World Series, I think you can go flawless for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a competition with Jugsy and Clutch on this anyway. So the winner gets their face on a cake. And then
What's the
other one's gotta eat it.
competition? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So myself, Jugsy, and Clutch have never gone 12-0. So the first
surprise
person
there.
to go 12-0, the other 2 buy a cake with that the winner's face on it, and then any element they want on it. So I'm going to have part of my cake is going to be a taco, and Clutch is going to eat that taco.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
That's a great. So
I'm
basically,
going 12-0 in the next week. I'm going to tell you right
I'm
now.
gonna have to coach one of you guys to go 12-0.
so I guess this
I'm
is
gonna-
the exact opposite
get it.
of what Adam, Quash, Scuffy, and myself are doing. It's kind of like, let's see how many we can get, and you guys are going for like, let's see who's the first one to get there.
The first, yeah, we're the first. And then me, Smog, and Clue. What do we have on that? What is that one again, Smog?
Don't dumb down our competition.
No, I'm liking it. I like it. I'm just telling the viewers that there can be stuff for everybody, all kinds of skill
Even the
level.
shitty players.
Even these guys who don't worthy enough to go 12-0, they can have competitions too.
I love it. What was the other one that you said with Clue that you guys have?
Oh, with Clue, it's this one will never happen, but it's like the first one, be Jugsy or Clue, the first one to be in top 100 during a season.
Like
Top
at the
100
end of the
players
ranked seasons?
gets like $100. I'll pay you.
Yeah, and the other 2 have to give the guy $100.
Yeah.
So we're
everybody's
gonna
wallets we're gonna continue this on into the 2023 season.
Dude, I guarantee you, we take this to our graves. There's no way any
But
one
you
of us
know
are
what?
winning this shit.
I feel like the first couple seasons is gonna be tough because everybody's gonna be grinding it. once August come out, you know, the other games come out, the community kind of starts slowing down. That may be your chance. But when 2021 comes out and there's going to be the cross-platform, Xbox, and all that other stuff, that talk about being tough.
It's going to be real tough.
That's going to be tough. Well, good luck, guys. I guess you're going to need it, right?
Yeah.
What? No, never mind. All right, moving on. ESL tournament. We covered this ESL tournament a little bit last week. They canceled it for this week. They canceled it yesterday. Did they announce it yesterday? The cancellation, I think it was. I guess they want us to play the beta. Obviously, hey, if you're in the chat, !beta, you'll see what we think about the beta. Obviously, you cannot talk about it, so we're not going to be talking about the beta, but play it. Go to the forums, give that feedback there, feedback on hitting, I think it's fielding, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so I guess they're gonna postpone this week and extend the qualifiers, and I guess they'll be back next week on that. So this is the beta weekend, which they extended. There wasn't a little bit of issues with the invites coming out, so they extended it an extra day. So it's gonna be up until January 21st. That's gonna be the last day of the beta. So if you haven't played the beta, go ahead. If you got the invitation, go ahead and play it a lot, and see what's new. Start getting ready for 20. Start getting ready for MLB The Show 20. Have you guys played the beta already?
I have not had time yet.
No,
I haven't, because I was told that because I was making that World Series push, and I was told going into that one and then coming back was a bad idea. So I've wanted to hold off until I got World Series, but I'm going to try it out this weekend. Yeah.
Jugsy, partner.
Honestly, I haven't. The only time I really have opportunity I have to really play games is at night after work.
Streaming.
And that's also the time I stream. And so it's like I would have to give up a stream to play the beta, and I'm also kind of one that I kind of like surprises. I do want to get in there just to get a feel for it though, and at least give a little bit of feedback, because I think that's crucial. So I probably will get in there a little bit today and maybe a little bit tomorrow, just to see it, to contribute to some sort of feedback, because it's important.
Yeah, I agree. So again, not much to talk about there, because the beta, we cannot talk about it. So, just play it and give your feedback on that on the forums, and we'll go from there. We're ready for 20. I think we're all ready for 20. Obviously, keep playing 19, getting your World Series, getting those stubs. I think
see them pitches, man. See some pitches. You know what I'm saying? You got to see some pitches.
I think Adam has a good idea a good different thing that he's going to be doing. Adam, I know you said it on your stream yesterday. What are you going to be doing that last day of MLB The Show 20?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be selling every single card I have in my binder. Either sell now or quick sell if they're locked into a collection.
Now you cannot go over 5 million stubs. Keep that in mind.
Every single pack. Just open up packs.
You're gonna have a 12-hour stream just opening packs. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time. That would be, and then buying the packs is gonna be insane. How long it's gonna be?
That would be awesome if we could carry our stubs over.
That would be amazing.
That would be sick.
Or at least 50% of it, right?
Trev would love that.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Right now, I would too.
SDS would hate it though. SDS would hate it. They'd be like, "Wait, what?
It makes no sense.
Out of business?"
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense.
Not a smart business move. Would it be fun?
No.
You should do it a couple days before 19 ends, and then create a team with the diamond pools that you get, and make a World Series run with that.
Ooh,
Boom.
It sounds like a YouTube video.
Oh, did you say coming soon, Adam, to a YouTube near you? Maybe? I don't know.
It might be happening.
If you know Adam, you know he's been saying this for 6 months. So,
dude, hitting tips, BR tips, draft tips. I mean, pitching tips. Oh man, you got a ton of material. Everybody wants to hear them goon
all tips,
man.
All tips.
It's coming. One day.
Oh, well, that's gonna be. So be on the lookout for that. Are we ready for the real stuff? Are we ready for the real stuff?
Let's get it.
So when all of this was going on with Houston and Alex Cora and Beltran, there were some signings. There were a couple of signings. One good one or big one was Josh Donaldson to the Twins. Smog, how surprised were you at this signing?
I was a little bit surprised just because originally the Twins were originally the favorites, and Josh Donaldson came out and said basically anybody who gives him 4 years and around 110 million was his number. And then basically it sounded like Atlanta was coming out and Atlanta was going to be the favorite. He said they were going to give the final decision, the hometown, whatever. And so then he signed for 4 years, 92 million. Obviously, he's got incentives to getting closer to that 110 number, but it was a little bit surprising. But at the same time, I think it's an amazing pickup for the Twins. Essentially, they replaced C.J. Cron with Josh Donaldson. They're basically going to move. They're going to basically move Miguel Sano to first base, and then they're going to put Josh Donaldson at third. You already had the team who was hitting the most home runs in the majors, and now you've added Josh Donaldson to that lineup. I mean, it's a huge pickup, and it's got to be exciting for Twins fans. I know those fans like to be down in the dumps about their teams or whatever, but I mean, this is something to keep that momentum from last year going into this year.
I agree.
It's a huge signing.
That if you look at that lineup 1 through 9 for the Twins, it's arguably one of the best lineups. It's up there with your Yankees, up there with the Astros, with the buzzer or not. You know, it's 1 through 9. The Twins lineup is legit. You know, obviously the pitching is going to be a thing, but Jugsy, thoughts on this signing? What do you think is going to do for the Twins? They already won the division last year, right? So what does this do to them?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what Smog said. It lengthens that lineup for sure. It's a big upgrade over Cron. I guess you go Donaldson, Kepler, Sano in some sort of fashion with
Rosario
that right matchup. That's a lot of thump in the middle of a lineup, man. And then those surrounding pieces. That team's going to be scary. Comes down to pitching, of course. So I don't know if Donaldson can close ball games, but we'll see how that works out.
I think he has a total of 0 saves in his career, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no. But I see.
Yeah, I don't know. The Twins fans will probably know better how they're going to shape that lineup, but I really like it. Donaldson's great. I'm interested to see what the Braves do with that vacancy. Is it going to be Camargo? I mean, that hole's opened up. Are they going to make a move for Bryant now? There's stuff's going to start shifting around. I think Donaldson was that piece that, boom, needed to be placed, and now I think stuff. Maybe not right away, maybe at least before the All-Star break. That's where stuff will start. Yeah. I mean, by the trade deadline, stuff will start moving.
I do agree that it's a great move and a big move for the Twins, especially because it's a smaller market team, right? That usually don't get players like this. But I feel like it just leaves such a huge void. It's a bigger void for the Braves than a gain for the Twins. You know what I mean? I feel like the Braves needed to get him. You got a couple steals with contract with Albies and Acuna. Like, spend a little bit on that Josh Donaldson because you were so close this past year, you know. But 4 for 92, you know, that's the problem, right? That's what some teams were scared of, giving him that 4th year. But the Twins kind of had to do it, had to bring him in, right? So, Adam, thoughts on Josh Donaldson and the Twins?
Yeah, so an underrated thing with Josh Donaldson is he actually rakes at target field. Like, some guys, maybe it's the team's pitching, but I think a lot of the time it's how you see the ball. Like, whenever I played in Pacific places like parks, whatever, some parks just have a really, really good batter's eye that you can just see the pitch and you can see the curveball happening, so they hit really well. So Donaldson played 22 games at target field. He's hit 373, 10 bombs, 819 slugging percentage. So he crushes the ball there. So right off the bat, he's gonna help there. Their lineup's gonna be sick. Obviously, the Twins, they're gonna need to pitch. You know, I mean, unless you score 10 runs a game, but that's not gonna happen in the playoffs. Like the Yankees, what happened last year? You know, they got shut out.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with the Braves,
on juice balls, Smog, calm down. It was on juice balls. It wasn't the pitching.
If I'm the Braves, I mean, you saw the Nationals just come out of nowhere basically and win it all, right, in the playoffs. Man, if I'm the Braves with that roster, they're close. Go after Arenado. Go after. I mean, if he's there, you have try.
And they have the prospects too. Yeah, exactly. Man, you gotta make a move. Yeah.
Rather Arenado, Freddie Freeman, Acuna. I mean, are you kidding me? That's a nasty 3 in that lineup. Yeah, I mean.
And they have enough pitching prospects to not even touch the rotation. Mm-hmm. They can get rid of those outfielders with the pitching prospect and maybe a major league ready guy now, and they'll make that move, the Rockies. But man, I don't know what they're.
But
if I'm a Braves fan, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, you feel like just there it leaves a huge void in your lineup. Donaldson was a big part. Donaldson was up there with Acuna as the team MVP, right? So it's big now. Do you guys really think that the Rockies are going to trade Arenado? I mean, I know that the rumor right now has it that he's going to the Cards, but I just don't see them trading Arenado. I just cannot see it.
I mean, I think I can see it. They haven't won with him, right? They haven't won with him. Now they're like, you know what? Maybe we can just rebuild. We trade him. We can get a bunch of top prospects from a team and just completely rebuild. They still have Trevor Story. You still have Blackman. You still have hitters on that team. What they need is obviously they need pitching, but it is hard to pitch in Coors Field, especially with a juice ball. But I mean, if you get the right deal, you get the right prospects, I can see them doing it without, and then they don't got to pay him another $200 million, and maybe they go out and they can spend on pitching next offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the right move to go after him. Maybe the Rockies want to keep him and see how they start off, and then maybe midway through the year trade him. Obviously, if you're a Rockies fan, that would be devastating for you, right? Because you're back to square one, I guess. Classic Rockies, but. Yeah, that would be painful. If you're a Rockies fan, that would be painful. Now another move that happened if we stay with the AL Central theme, I think the White Sox were at it again. They added Steve Cishek, which I think is a decent arm for that pen. Does this the Twins are still the favorite, right, Adam?
I would say yeah, because they won it last year. But I mean, even though the Twins are probably the favorite, the White Sox, I mean, they make really, really good moves. They got Grandal. They re-signed Abreu. They've made really, really good moves. Also, don't sleep on the Indians either, man. The Indians, every year they win 90-plus games. Last year they started off real slow. If they can get off to a fast start, I can see them running away with that division too.
Yeah,
they're gonna be good.
Part of the problem with the Indians last year was that Lindor was out for the first month. Jose Ramirez had the worst first half he's ever had. He picked it up in the second half. They did trade it away Kluber, but at the same time, it's not like they had him for the entire year last year, right?
They just have so much pitching.
And my thing is that the Twins won 104 games last year. You don't expect them to win 100 again, right? Even though they're better offensively, they lost Gibson again, so that's a pitcher. So let's say they end up winning, 92, 95, right? The White Sox were still bad. They're a lot better on paper. But you still gotta show up and win games. They ended up winning 72, 75 games, whatever it was. It was in the 70s. They were actually closer to the Tigers than they were to the Twins. So even if you take 10 wins off from the Twins and you add 15 to the White Sox, they're still not there. Smog, who you got in the Central, AL Central, as of right now?
Yeah, so AL Central, like I said, I think the White Sox are probably another year or two off if they keep progressing. I do think they're probably going to be the it's hard to predict who's going to be the Twins of last year. I think the Twins were the biggest surprise for a lot of people. I think the Twins, given that pretty much that team is pretty much stayed intact. They didn't make any major changes other than Scope, and Scope left and CJ Cron left, and they got rid of Gibson.
And Gibson.
And Gibson. So I mean, you're going to put Reyes at second base, who far and away is up and coming, and probably in long term going to be much better than Scope. CJ Cron, you just upgraded with Donaldson. I just don't see how you sleep on that team. I do think the Indians, I think a lot of people are acting like they already traded Lindor away, and there was nobody else on that team left, and that's just not the case. I mean, you got Kluber and you got rid of Bauer, but typically if you get some young guys like Clevenger and those guys, they just have so much pitching, and they still have a pretty decent bullpen with Hand and Miller. And if you got Ramirez and all those guys still hitting the ball like they were, like I said, if they get off to a hot start, they're going to be trouble. So I really see it being between the Twins and the Indians again. But I do think you're going to start seeing people recognize the White Sox, but I still think they're like a year or two away.
I do think they are a year or two away. Luis Robert should be their starting center fielder, right? He just signed a multi-million-dollar deal. Who's supposed to be the next next big thing, right?
Played a game.
That dude is
before playing a game, right? But Jugsy, is that dude enough with the Grandal and Keiko signing and Cishek, all these moves? Is it enough to maybe have them win the division, or you think they're more of a second wild card?
I don't know. I really think that team's going to be sneaky. Their pitching is good. They got Dylan Cease, the Kopech kid. I don't know if he's about ready. He's got to be. He's going to come.
So.
Yeah. So that staff is sneaky. Bullpen wise, they just lost Nate Jones to my Reds.
Your Reds may move every offseason. They just can't seem to win. But I feel like they're always in making moves. You got to respect that.
Yeah, I think that team's going to be nice. The offense is going to be fun to watch. Yeah. The Grandal signing, I think, is the biggest one there.
I agree.
The pitch framing ability alone is going to elevate that pitching staff. Yeah, so that's going to help. The fact that he's of Cuban descent too. I think there's like 5 or 6 Cubans on that team. So, a lot of those guys when they defect, they don't have any contact with friends, family. I think that's changed a little bit now. But they leave everything to come and do this. And so to have a group of guys in a similar situation on your team, and I think it's just only going to help them. And that team was already on the fringe of like being sneaky good.
Breaking out.
And now this Roberts kid is amazing. You signed that contract before your first game, and you got a nickname already.
You must be a stud.
Unreal.
He has a beautiful swing.
He reminds me of like Puig when he first came up. Like this guy, a physical specimen who can do it all. He can hit all fields with power, speed, 5'2" player. And like you said, he's a young guy who's never played in the big leagues. He's going to have his Cuban partners of Jose Abreu and Grandal, who are experienced. Moncada, who's been through what he's going right now, I think is only going to help him. Moncada had a great year this past year, and you can only expect him to get better again, to make another jump. I don't expect King Anderson to win the batting title again, so that there should be a little bit of a down year if you compare it to 2019 for him. But I don't know. I still think it's Twins and Indians again, but the White Sox are I would not be shocked if they end up winning the division.
What's their bullpen? What's the White Sox bullpen?
I'm looking at their team right now, and one call I do want to make I don't know if it's bold, but if Eloy Jimenez can stay healthy, he'll hit over 50 homers this year.
No, that kid is amazing.
I think he's gonna make that type of jump. Yeah. Well, if you watch his second half, he finally made some adjustments. He crushed the baseball. And if you look at this lineup, they're actually 9 deep. You have Grandal, Edwin Encarnacion at DH,
Edwin.
Garcia at second base, who's a good player, Tim Anderson, Moncada, Eloy, Robert, and Mazzara, who they also picked up. They're 9 deep.
That's nasty.
Is a good lineup. And then they got Giolito. Giolito, he needs to be an ace again. If they're going to compete, he needs to be an ace. You have Keiko, who, it's going to be cold there. He doesn't give up homers, so he might be. That's a really good signing for them.
Yeah.
Gio Gonzalez, same type of pitcher. Ronaldo Lopez, hit or miss, but is he your forward?
Another
Cubano. He's
Cubano.
gonna be big, man. If he can be good, obviously he'll be on that innings limit because of coming off the injury. But if he can be good and pick up steam in the second half, they could.
And what's that bullpen?
The bullpen, yeah. They have Colomb. They got Aaron Bummer, Cishek, Herrera, Fry, Marshall.
Yeah, that's the
problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Do they still have Jack McDowell? Speaking of segue,
you see what he said?
Do you see this guy? This guy's throwing everyone under the bus.
Some people too look for clicks,
what did
man.
He say? What was he saying?
Tony La Russa stole signs illegally, according to Jack McDowell.
Yeah, back in the 80s or something, right? This has been going on since the 80s.
Imagine those type of cameras those guys use.
Yeah.
They probably had to use binoculars to see the camera.
For real, how did they not get exposed back then? I mean, it makes you wonder, has this been going on for
Yes.
decades?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
of course.
The thing is, this has definitely been something like, this is brought to light because of the links that the Houston Astros and even the Red Sox.
Because of Mike
whoever else is
Fires,
on it,
you
but-
mean? Because of Mike
Yeah,
Fires.
I mean,
They're calling him a hero.
If anybody believes that nobody else was cheating, these guys just got caught. Everybody's got an edge. Everybody's trying to gain an edge. Sign stealing has been almost an art of the game, just as much as anything else. People are trying to read base coaches' signals. People are trying to read everything when they're on second base, everything else like that. Everybody's doing it. It's just to the point of extent that these guys just really got caught. I would not be surprised. You're going to see a lot more dirt being flung and a lot more stuff. MLB's really got mud on their face because originally they said that nothing's been going on, and now somebody else uncovered it, and so they're kind of having to backtrack. I would not want to be an executive in the MLB offices right now.
No, man. I mean, the stain on the game. Again, it's the integrity. That's why everybody. It's almost a meme at this point of like
Baseball in general.
Baseball in general. It's just one thing after another.
For
man.
decades.
It's like, what happened to the purity of it? I don't understand.
And now Congress is asking for an investigation. So once you get the government officials going in, now it becomes really.
That's a wrap.
That's when it's in
what's
trouble.
interesting too is like this is not just baseball either. If you look at the football season, the Patriots got in trouble trying to videotape the Bengals sideline.
Imagine that's like the Yankees trying to see what the Orioles are doing.
Yeah. But what's wild about that? So they had like at that point in the year they had like a top defense, and as soon as they got caught, that's when they started to lose games. They lost like 4 out of 6, 4 out of 7, whatever. So it's like all these teams and all these sports are looking for that edge. So these sign stealing stuff have been happening forever, and now it's finally in the limelight.
Yeah, and the thing is that they, players will say like, well, if you do it in between the lines, it's fine. But the same players that say that are the ones that are going outside the lines and trying to see where they can gain an advantage, right? Because and they know it. They know everybody's doing it. It just became, I feel like Mike Fires was like, you know what? Everybody knows. I just have to speak up. Even after the fact that you won a World Series with them, you took advantage of having that trash, and people are bashing what Jessica Mendoza said, and I agree with the bashing that she was getting. She was saying pretty much that the problem was Mike Fires, and that was a bigger problem of the Houston Astros cheating. Yeah, she's kind of like siding with the, she'd rather have somebody cheat than snitch, right? But the guy who, you took advantage of it. Now you're in a division rival.
I have a problem with him snitching. Like I think it's better for the game that he did that, and but like and it was kind of brought to my light last night of like, there's a lot that goes into involved into coming out with something like that, because it could have taken him this long to come out. Like, why don't you come out right away is my question. It's like, if you're against this, like, give your ring back, you know what I mean? And like, I just don't understand. Now, I'm glad he did it, so I'm sitting on both sides of the fence here, but it's just like, I don't know, I guess the bro code type of thing. It just come up and say it right away when you first see it.
That's exactly why AJ Hinch lost his job, right? Because the news are saying that he was a part of it, like, because he knew, but he was against it. Oh, he broke the TVs a couple times. Well, you know what? They asked you if you knew and if this was a real thing, and you denied it. So you were involved, right? Now, Smaugh, it's a year suspension for him and the general manager. And now, obviously, after that, they got fired. But is a year enough punishment? And keep in mind that the buzzer thing was investigated and nothing was found as far as that. Now, I don't think that the buzzer thing, I think you're still cheating. If you put a camera in center field, I don't care how you're letting it, letting the batter know if it's a trash can or a buzzer, you're still cheating, the same. But the buzzer thing was not confirmed. So with that in mind, is a year enough, suspension wise?
So I think with this, so they gave them, like you said, they had a year of suspension without pay. And then, and like you said, as a result, Astros fired him. But I think that this is going to turn into much bigger than a year. It's pretty much derailed these guys' career, right? They'll never get another head coaching job.
I agree.
Because anybody who hires those guys, one is going to have the stigma of, oh, you're approving the cheating. if your team does start to win with these guys at the helm, everybody's going to go and say, oh, they're cheating and everything else like that. You just have so much stigma and so much problems around it that nobody's going to touch these guys, in my opinion, with a 100-foot pole. It just becomes something of,
It's a media
it's
nightmare.
It's a media nightmare. It's an integrity thing. People are going to start questioning your judgment as to why, you have all these different options. Right now the Astros are interviewing Buck Showalter, old-time Orioles coach, somebody with a lot of integrity or whatever else. They're really just trying to come in and find somebody who's really just nobody's really questioned in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Old school guy, Bochy or someone like that will probably,
right, exactly. Yeah. And so it's I think the year suspension is going to work itself out, and that these guys, even if they are somehow get themselves back into baseball, they'll never be like a front office or somebody who's in charge of basically making big decisions again.
Yeah, they're done. Look at Beltran, didn't even get a chance to coach one game because the Mets didn't want to do it.
Wow, he wasn't even coach at the time.
So, and that was my next question. So players got immunity during this whole process. He was a player. Now, he was let go. I guess the side of it is that the Mets didn't want to be dealing with it. That they want to have this, well, our manager is a cheater type of thing. Adam, like, should he have been? Well, he wasn't fired.
Yeah, so
he stepped down, right?
So they said he was mutually let go, but he would have been fired.
Same as their Alex
They were
Cora.
just giving them that kind of respect, I guess. But I was talking about this earlier in my stream. They had to fire him. They had to, because first of all, so they named him specifically, right? They named Carlos Beltran. So obviously he did something. Yes, he was a player at the time, but he's a coach now. So that's the responsibility, right? So he cheated. And especially in New York media, you can't have these like black clouds over your teams, right? Like you just can't. They're just gonna kill you. Imagine the Mets lost 7 in a row to start the season. They're gonna be like, oh, it's because they're not cheating. So that's gonna be all over the place. So they had to do it. Otherwise, the New York media was just gonna kill them all year. So
now,
they had to do it.
My thing is that, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So he was a player. Players are not to be punished, right? Obviously, not to be punished by the MLB. I understand. This is being punished to a certain degree because he's losing his job for something he did as a player, right? While the other players are gonna keep playing, they're gonna be fine. We got Alex Bregman giving us great Marshall Lynch type interviews with his answers, but he lost his job. Now, the other thing of the punishment, and I want to see what Jugsy thinks about this because he's our minor league expert. They're gonna lose first and second round for the next 2 years. The $5 million fine is nothing, but that's at the same time that's as high as they can go. If they wanted to go more than that, they had to go through like new rules and player association and all that, player union, whatever. So they went ahead. Obviously, they made a lot more money during that postseason, winning the title. But Jugsy, what does that mean? Losing a first and second round pick for the next 2 years. How back can a franchise be set with losing that?
I mean, baseball's tough. I mean, a lot of first and second round picks don't pan out. I mean, that happens all the time. But prospects are a huge part of the game now. Bryce Harper and Mike Trout kind of changed that whole landscape, and now everybody's looking younger. Everybody's looking to get these guys to the league quicker. The whole entire league's getting younger in general. So to miss out on just two potential first round picks, you got to think that is crucial. Those are, that can set you back a long time. Now, of course, you can make trades and get some of those pieces back via trades, and they'll probably get creative with it. But it hurts. I don't think it's nearly enough. If this buzzing thing comes to light, honestly, those guys, at first I was saying, a 3-year minimum. Those guys deserve lifetime bans. Bregman, Tuve, adios, dude. Reddick is they're saying he had a thing on, and which, by the way, if this guy's wearing a buzzer, they must have been trolling his ass in the dugout, dude. Like, let's tell him a fastball's coming, dude, and then it's a change up because that guy sucks.
He hit like 190. He hit like 190.
They said it was in 2017, right?
Yeah, but
I think he had a good year that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Now,
I'm pretty sure he had over 300, or am I wrong?
I don't know, but I think he had a grand total of what?
Yeah, look at this. Look at this, ready? Look at this. They said it would be in 2017, right? So last year he had 275, like didn't do that well, whatever. The year before that, 242. In 2017, he had 314.
Dude, I'm telling you, they were trolling him, dude. He must be like the team like clown, and they troll his ass. And dude, tell him a curveball's coming. Tell him a curveball's coming. It's just high heat. What the, dude? He's like, what are you guys trying to do to me, man? You trying to ruin my career?
He's out there looking like a fool, swinging at things. But
yeah, but no,
like the buzzer.
Go ahead.
What's crazy about the buzzer? So Trevor Bauer, he's been like saying they've been cheating for years and years. He made a video. I think it was like last year. I want to say last year or 2 years ago, about that he's about to go play poker, and he brought his lucky band-aids to get a tell on his opponents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, what the like band-aid? What the hell does that even mean? And all of a sudden, people have been retweeting the video now, 2 years later, saying, "Oh, I get
now
it. The
makes
band-aid,
sense.
the buzzer below." Bauer's always known. He's always known, man.
And you Darvish came out with something today talking about how he feels. He had a really good year that year with the Dodgers, and then games 3 and 7, he just got absolutely shelled. And now he's of course questioning whether or not they were. He said the Astros, some players told him that he was tipping pitches, but when they went back to look at the video, they didn't see him tipping pitches. So now he thinks that maybe they were been stealing that entire time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you think about somebody that has been getting a lot of cutting a lot of heat because of it, was Kershaw getting smoked, right? Oh, playoff Kershaw. Well, I mean, maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe not. We don't know. But now, apparently, the mastermind behind all of this was Alex Cora, right? He was the one that was mentioned multiple times. AJ Hinch got a year suspension and fired. Alex Cora got fired by the Red Sox. Well, mutually agreed to, go their own way. But it's because of what, obviously the Red Sox are getting, they're being accused of doing something. Alex Cora was let go because of what happened in Houston. Lifetime ban is being thrown out there.
Well, I think it'll be by default. But they just will never get a job.
And that's what I was gonna say. I think I don't see him managing again. Maybe he'll get something in the ESPN, back at ESPN, back somewhere, because the baseball knowledge is there. Kind of like A-Rod after the steroids accusation. People thought his career was done. He's the Tony Romo of TV now. But is he gonna get a lifetime ban? Do you guys think so? I think we all agree that if he gets it, it's kind of like, well, he deserved it. But is he gonna get it? Smaugh.
I think if they prove that he was cheating all of 2017 and 2018, and they show that he continually did it and kept finding a way to do it, I don't see how they don't. Even if they didn't, though, like you said, his career, it's almost like a lifetime ban. He'll never get in the Hall of Fame for coaching. He'll never get in for another coaching job again. The other thing that worries me about, just going back to Beltran just for a second, is he was a really good player, and had he had the numbers for Hall of Fame, does this now make it to where he can no longer get in the Hall of Fame because of this?
And that was my next question. As far as, like, I'm thinking, for example, Altuve's the one that he was saying, don't take my jersey off, right? And now everybody's looking, that was the wire. That was people also on Twitter are looking for clicks. Like, let's keep that in mind. The investigation was done, nothing was found as far as that. Does this mean he's right there with the Barry Bonds and the Mark McGwire and the Sammy Sosas? Because Jose Altuve was probably a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Is he still a Hall of Famer after all this?
Probably. I mean, if they don't, it's tough. It's tough. I would.
Is it too soon to be asking that?
Okay, so I mean, the thing is, a lot of the Hall of Fame voters are white, and Jose Altuve is not, so that could affect him with the cheating scandal, to be honest.
And he's not a Yankee, so that's.
I saw a report about Carlos Beltran, and this guy who's been he's had reports about him being potential racist and stuff, and he said he's never gonna vote for Beltran ever as a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
even before all this,
it does make you think. Like, what happens to all these guys? It is gonna. They're tainted forever. Like, if any of these guys had any plans of coaching after their careers, all that none of it. It's just like it's all done, and I mean that's kind of what you get. But yeah, I think lifetime bans, man. It just has to be done, because if not, Like the people were saying in my chat, it's going to turn into a heyday. We're going to have first base coaches lighting flares off for fastballs. Just fastball, here it comes, Larry. You know what I mean? Because people are just going to not give a shit because the punishments aren't going to be strict enough. So you got to lay the hammer down.
Same thing with the steroids. Like, so they added the rules that, you know, you're banned for life after the third time you're caught. The first time is 50 games. People are still doing it. There was a report that came out. There more than 10% of the players are still doing it. They are gonna. It's still a part of baseball. Is it 90% like what it was in the 90s? No, it's less. But people are still gonna be doing it. Is it the same kind of cheating?
I mean, it just you look at whether these guys also, it hurts their Hall of Fame chances. Is a lot of these guys like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, who have been tied up to these PEDs, they're running out of time to get into the Hall of Fame. And a lot of this stuff is based off of people just won't vote for him because of the steroid stuff. So do you lump these same guys into the same way of cheating? Did they cheat the game? You know, you have multiple pitchers who are coming out right now and saying, look, I'd rather pitch to somebody who I knew was on steroids than knew what I was about to throw. So it just depends on what the degree of what these guys see. So if you lump steroids in as just as bad or not as bad as what the Astros and the Red Sox have done, then I just don't see how any of these sports writers are gonna vote for these guys, because they don't already vote. Like I said, Barry Bonds, I think we all can agree, was an amazing player. You know, there's a whole bunch of these guys who've been caught up in the steroid thing. You know, A-Rod's another one, a really good player. Roger Clemens, phenomenal pitcher, everything else. But when you tie in that steroids thing, people say, you know, that's cheating. That puts a taint on the game. And so if you have guys who have done the same thing in a different method, I don't see how you get in the Hall of Fame, and I don't see how you know, it's really gonna hurt these guys going forward, because you know, Altuve and Bregman, every time they go somewhere, they're going to be banging trash cans at any visitors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be getting beamed.
They're going to be confused.
They're going to be getting buzzard. They're going to be doing, you know, everything in the world is going to be happening. Like, they're going to be booed so loud that it's going to be amazing to see how these guys concentrate and how their numbers affect this next year with all these distractions. They're just people just absolutely ridiculing these guys every time they come up to the plate or make a play.
Oh, I think it's definitely going to be something that we've never seen before.
What about Pete Rose? You think it's you know, it
makes it look better.
So
yeah, it doesn't look
so bad. You know what I mean?
But you know,
I mean,
it might. Go ahead.
Just as a player, I just got to say this: Pete Rose. Nobody's ever going to come close to what Pete Rose did. 5,000 plus hits. I mean, it takes guys 20 plus years to get 3,000 now. The guy had 5,000 plus. As a player, I mean, he was one of a kind, and he did something special. Did he do something stupid with betting on baseball? Yeah, but like, as time has gone on, I think that it gets to the point to where, I don't know, man. I think you got to revisit it. I thought they were really going to revisit it when they had the All-Star game in Cincinnati and they brought him out, and with Manfred and everything, they're going to have a new whatever. But like, I just don't know if you revisit it. If you don't revisit it for him, then I don't see how you don't hand out lifetime bans for everybody else.
I really don't think they will. And the reason why is because betting now is such a big part of sports that you're kind of saying you can bet and you can actually get away with it. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why I don't think it's going to happen. Should he deserves to? Probably. He's the all-time hits leader, right? But betting has become, obviously it's legal now in some states too. But if you let him in, you're telling everyone like, hey, go ahead and bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just think fixing games. Now, you know, there's no proof that he actually fixed games because he only bet on his team to win. But he didn't bet on his team to win every day, and that's where he screwed up. I've said that a bunch of times. So, you know, the question of fixing games, I think, is miles apart than getting an advantage, even if it's through technology. If you have control over the outcome of a game, putting in a pitcher, not putting in a pitcher, there's so many things you can do as a manager to control the outcome of a game. Sure, it has to go in your favor, but you have the ability to put pieces in place at certain moments to change the outcome of a game. I think that's just so much different and he's my guy. You guys know I'm a Pete Rose guy. Mm-hmm. I just think, sorry, man, you're going to have to
sit this one out.
You have to sit this one out, bro. As good as you were.
Which sucks for
it's
him.
Heartbreaking.
And
it sucks for baseball.
It sucks for him too. Like, you can tell he's been trying, and he's not gonna stop trying.
He jumps on he's jumping on this. He jumps on anything he can to be like, see, dude, what I did wasn't that bad. See, look at these guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, but it kind of was. It kind of was. Man, any final thoughts on this cheating scandal?
Give Judge that MVP for 2017.
Oh, now try saying it without crying.
Anyway.
How about you say without crying this time?
The only thing he didn't beat Altuve in was average.
Yeah, he deserves it anyway.
He deserved that one. He shouldn't have lost that anyway.
Hey, he'll get more, right? I would think that Judge will get another MVP shot, right?
Yeah.
Should we open it up to chat? Flatwood's had a couple good questions.
Let's do it. Bring it.
Flatwood says, as streamers, how responsible do you feel as far as language and content on your stream, considering MLB The Show has an abundance of young players?
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
So, for me, especially because I stream in the middle of the day, I like to keep it as clean as possible. Now, yesterday, once I got to like 8, 9 o'clock-ish, then it's like, you know what? Now it's later. You know, maybe kids are asleep. That's when I'll start to turn maybe more adult content a little bit. But for me, when I'm streaming during the day, as long as it's like daylight, I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to be a good example. I want these kids, you know, they're 14 now. They might try to stream by 3 years, 4 years from now, you know, because they're like, you know what? We see Samuel Adams, we see Jugsy, we see all these guys that are like really good. I want to do this. So I'm trying to be a great example to them. And then obviously, like if I'm streaming late night, I'll put like late night chat or whatever in the title, so they know that
adult content.
Okay, maybe there'll be a little bit more adult content and all that. But yeah, you know, I'm definitely aware.
I'm the same way. As far as and the reason why I'm like that. So I mean, I'm the same guy in real life or not. Yeah, I'll curse here and there. Obviously, more in real life than on the stream. But the reason why I don't do it is because my first few supporters were kids. And I never asked for the ages, but I know, you know, as a streamer, as an adult, you can tell if the person that's in chat is 12, 13, 14, or it's 30, 40, 50. And I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be a guy that was like, you know, I feel like I can be entertaining and funny and a good player and a good streamer, a good content creator without having to go that route. And I just didn't want that to be me either. I'm thinking this is kind of like my business, right?
Exactly.
So I see this is me, right? So I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know where it may take me. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be somebody that I'm not. You know, I do have the Jejo After Dark, kind of like what Adam said. I'll have a stream here and there that's gonna be at night. Jejo After Dark. And the other day, I think last time I did it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Somebody came in the chat. He's like, "Well, this is the same Jejo." I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, but it is dark, you know. But I'm gonna be the same guy, you know. I'm not gonna change. Now, at least, thank God, I have this thing that can help me, you know, when I feel like, you know, I wanna rage, but I don't rage either, so it's kind of like it's there, yeah. You know. But at the same time, there is a place for everything. The community, it's so diverse. There's gonna be so many other things. There's gonna be there's for everybody. There's gonna be adult channels. There's gonna be kid channels, you know, and there's a space for everything. And I support everybody as well, you know, regardless of their content, if it's R-rated or PG-13.
What about you, Smog?
Man, I don't give up about your kids. I'm just kidding. No. In all honesty, I put my channel as mature audiences for people to click, and it's just because there's some nights, man, I can't control chat, and chat just goes crazy, and so. You know, and there's stuff that, man, I'll curse and do everything else. I'm kind of like that in real life. It just kind of, you know, you know, kind of the upbringing I've had. I try to keep it as clean as I can. I don't try to purposely go down that rabbit hole, but if it happens, you know, I just kind of let the stream dictate it. If it starts going too crazy, obviously we got to reel it in. But, you know, for the same time, I'm on a little bit later at night. You know, I'm an older guy. I kind of, you know, I think I kind of tailored to more of the adult guys or whatever. But, you know, at the same time, as you guys see, I may have gifted a few subs to this community. I'm also trying to show lessons as far as like how you should really be, how you should treat each other, be respectful, understand everything is not about you. It's more about this community, and anything I can do to do a positive spin on this community is what I'm really focused on. And that's providing, good entertainment, supporting everybody else in this community, having fun, and just being approachable. There's a lot of times, man, people just want to be heard. People just want to be able to have somebody to talk to, because sometimes they may not have that in real life. And I think that's a nice outlet for streamers. And so I really think that it's important to, understand and really try to, that's why I try to read chat so much. It is just because you just never know, man. Like somebody just saying hey to you and just asking how your day is, dude, that can completely turn somebody's day around. So I think it's important because, like I said, kids go through a lot of stuff these days. I don't go out of my way to make kids content, but I also don't go out of my way to completely not apply it to that, because I think there's lessons that be learned for people, adults and children alike.
What's that?
Yep. Jugsy, defend yourself. Go.
Oh yeah, well, dude, man, if there's any children, if there's any children up at the time that I stream, that's just bad.
That's parenting. On their parents, exactly.
So I kind of get out of hand a little bit sometimes, but honestly, I'm the same in real life as well. I grew up with my mom kind of has a truck driver mouth. She kind of goes off. You should hear my mom, but. So I grew up in that environment where kind of cussing wasn't a big deal. Dropping F-bombs every other word wasn't a big deal. Okay. And so, yeah, and it's not very attractive by any stretch of the means, but...
Says who?
What's that?
Says who?
Well, even when I see it and I hear it and watch it back, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I could probably talk about my testicles a little less. And so there's things, adjustments I could probably make. But again, it also would take away from who I am as well. So, I do think about it. I catch myself, even sometimes people will be like, hey, man, I'm sitting here with my son. And I'm like, oh, great. And then I have to kind of consciously try to not cuss so much, because it's not necessary all the time. I remember Howard Stern switched to satellite radio from terrestrial radio. And, the whole cussing thing was huge. And all of his guys were cussing, and he got pissed. He was like, look, man, it has its place. It has its own place, but to overdo it, to try to be funny, is a little annoying. So I try to keep that in mind too. But yeah, kids, if you're up at my hour, get some new parents.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Like you just said, Jugsy, that's just how you are, right? So like, I feel like people can also tell like how the content you provide, whether you're actually being yourself or not,
Right.
So,
like,
when you do it, it's not like cringy. It's not like, oh, this guy's trying so hard, right? It's just like, it just kind of is what it is. That's how you are, and that's the type of vibe people get, that genuine vibe,
And that's the thing. Right. You don't need to be anybody different than what you are, because at the end of the day, you're not $100 bill that everybody's gonna like you regardless. So if you try to change yourself, there's still gonna be people that they're not gonna like you regardless. So might as well be yourself. Be whoever you want to be and go with it. You're still gonna have your people that are not gonna like you. Everybody does, but you're still gonna have the people that will like you for who you are, and just go with that. That's what I think.
Agreed.
What else we got?
What
chat?
Questions we got?
Let me see. Chat is amazing. Let me see. Questions, chat. Come on, bring them. This is the time. We're not gonna break.
We got on that topic there, and kind of they were feeding into that.
That was a good question.
It was an amazing question.
That was a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, keep bring those questions. But let's get back to something.
Here we go. Here's a question. Opinions on pitchers that use pine tar and stuff while pitching.
So, I was talking about, and I was gonna bring this earlier, and I forgot. I was talking about this earlier on my stream, not today, but the last week. Justin Verlander, for example, is somebody that's always complaining about the juice balls and the cheating and whatnot. He's on the Astros.
He's banging trash cans.
While banging trash cans, yes. He was also on his way out of the league when he was in Detroit, right? Like his last few years, he went, like his fastball could not reach 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, he was done.
And he just went to Houston and something happened. Like he's back to 100.
Every other player.
Right? Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole always obviously had the potential. He was throwing 100, but something happens to the spin rate in Houston. There's something going on besides the trash cans in Houston. Am I right? Like there's There's no way. There's no way every pitcher has a career year when they go there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
they've definitely figured out some way of using the technology. I mean, you physically still got to throw the ball, so I don't see that there's anything like doctoring it or anything like with physicality they're doing. But I think somebody down there has just figured out a way to. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like you said, it's really suspicious that like everybody who, like you said, into a career. I thought originally when Houston picked up Verlander, I was like, okay, whatever. Then he went out there and it was like the Verlander of old.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole came from the Pirates, man, and like, granted, he relied on more off-speed stuff, and then down there he just started throwing the fastball.
Yeah, that
turned
four
into a whole
seam.
new
Yeah.
pitcher,
That's what
so
they did,
it's curious to see what Garrett Cole will do in Yankee Stadium. That's not a pitcher-friendly place. Obviously, when he pitched there against the Yankees, he did just fine because he's got nasty stuff. I think he'll take a lot of that stuff with him, and I also think that a lot of these pitchers, if it is something technological, they'll bring that with them and kind of share that with the clubs that they go to. And you'll see those pitchers also either increase, or if it just stays that it's a one-off in Houston, obviously something's up.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have a better idea, Samuel Adams, and I just forgot my question. So we'll go ahead and move on to something else.
We can
The thing about
move.
Garrett Cole too, though. The thing about Garrett Cole is, in Pittsburgh, he threw a lot of like two-seam sinker type pitches,
Right.
And that got hit. It got hit well, and for some reason he never stopped. And as soon as he got it to Houston, they're like, dude, you throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just throw that bowling
That's
ball.
your main pitch.
Use
Throw
it.
that thing, it will not get hit. I promise you. And all of a sudden he threw that, and now he's unhittable.
That was what I was going to ask you. Did when Verlander came over, did he make a similar adjustment? Do you remember, or didn't he?
The Verlander just started
Throwing heat
hard.
again.
He just started throwing hard, and Bauer, like I said, Bauer's been talking shit about the Astros, saying they've been cheating for years. They say they use something to doctor like the baseballs to get more spin rate on it, so their curveballs break more, their sliders break more, all that. Their fastballs, they have the backspin, all that. So
Yes,
I don't know.
They break the spin rate records in Houston.
They
and
do something. They do something, whether it's illegal, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
we don't know if it's legal or not. Yeah.
Can they
letter,
use different baseballs? Don't baseballs have to be major league approved before they're used? Yeah. So
I
that's
don't
weird.
I don't know. I don't know. Just what.
That's why I think it may
I don't
be
know
a
because
technology thing that they figured out.
And it also it also happens on the road, so it's not like it happens everywhere. Verlander started throwing 100 again after not being able to touch 90 for a couple of years. So maybe they found a technique that, like Adam says, it may be legal, it may be not, but there's something going on.
Could it just be good coaching?
I think Verlander was also hurt at the end of his Detroit year, because if you look, like he was terrible one year. And then in the next couple of years, he got back to like, he had like a 3.3, a 3.0, a 3.3. Then he got traded to Houston. So I think he found something out at the end of his career in Detroit. And then whatever this coaching did, whatever they did in Houston, kind of just turned it up and got him 2-3 more miles an hour on that fastball again. And
Cy Young winner again. He make it Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, first ballot. He's incredible.
We'll see what if, unless something comes out of this. Unless
BC's got a riveting question here, man.
Shoot it.
Guys, ready for this? Does anyone in the panel mute their mic and fart on stream?
I know for a fact that Jugsy does. Like he obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Go ahead, Small.
I was just gonna say I don't think my mic's good enough to pick that up.
Really?
It might be. I mean, if I really fucking ripped one off the cushion.
For me, I used to mute my mic when I would rip ass, and everybody was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like and so I stopped, and now I just kind of let them fly.
Yeah, you fire off some bottle rockets, like those.
Just let it rip. You just gotta let it rip sometimes, you know.
Oh, this took a turn.
If the mic picks it up, it picks it up. Hey,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
You blame it on anything you want.
We're
like,
human.
This damn dog, man, get out of here, dog.
Yeah.
It's
Part of the entertaining part, right?
Why do you think my chair's so squeaky?
Yeah.
To hide my farts.
Why do you think I take breaks? I gotta get out of my own area.
Jesus. Yeah. I see BC with the hot questions.
Literally.
Good question.
Let's see what else we got.
Let's see. It looks like that's about it.
We got one here that Mies asks, who do we think is going to be the main card in MLB 20, like there is in MLB 19? Kind of like the Willie Mays for MLB 20. And this is something that we talked about in the previous episodes, kind of like legends that we want to see, because it would, I'm guessing it would be a new legend. And that will be kind of like the collection reward again. People wanting that Mickey Mantle. I don't know if it's gonna be Mickey Mantle.
That'd be so sick, man.
I think it's Mickey Mantle. Or
everyone's
Mickey
being
Mantle or Hank
selfish
Aaron.
too, you know, because if you think about it, a Mickey Mantle card would be just the best card in the game, right?
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. I mean,
Yeah,
I still
definitely Mickey Mantle or Hank Aaron.
And we're gonna find out in the next month or two, right? Once the SDS streams start popping, and they're gonna be making the announcement for the new legends, and it's gonna be one big new legend at least, you would think. Maybe they'll surprise you with a couple, but there's still some big names out there that are available to add. Obviously, I think Mike Clemente is still gonna be for 2021. I'm saying Hank Aaron for 20 is a big number. It's the last year only with the PlayStation before the cross consoles and all that, but I'm still going Hank Aaron. But I don't know. I do think this is the year that Pedro comes back, or comes, joins the show.
He just seems like a guy that wants to be on a baseball game.
Yes.
He just seems like that kind of a guy. It's like, come on, get me on there,
And he would be amazing.
dude.
the thing that's interesting too, like I can see like Ortiz possibly coming, obviously Sheffield, because all their kids now are like, they're all like 18, teenagers and all that stuff. So like their kids probably playing will be the show. So they're like, Dad, why are you not in the game? Like that kind of question. So I can see maybe Ortiz, we'll see like those type of guys, which would be amazing card.
Oh, be a poppy.
Ortiz will play first base and be like Frank Thomas, just miss it, not miss everything.
6'5", 300 pounds, that diamond defense when he actually says common.
He would have a sweet swing in the game too.
Oh
my God, yes.
Anything inside is just murdered.
Yeah.
I was thinking this,
like
man.
A Garrick swing.
With there not being very many lefty relievers, do you think the move would be to go create a player lefty reliever?
A lot of people are doing that with a weird, weird delivery.
I hate that part of it. The weird delivery kind of sucks, but just do normal shit. But
it's not as real.
I think at the beginning of the year, when the cards are not like OP, like you don't have all 99s, I think the move's to make a cap in the field at the weakest position, probably catcher, and then as everyone starts getting better cards, that's when you can transition your cap to a reliever and be set.
And you can use him every game.
I might try that, man. It's just a middle reliever, lefty, or even a closer. It can come in and just
and the thing is, especially for 2020,
like 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a knuckleball or something.
Knuckleball, yeah, something. But
especially, I think it would be even more valuable in 2020 if, especially, we have the 3-batter minimum thing. Like, you need stud relievers if you're gonna have, because you're not gonna be able to play the matchups as well, right? So.
Well, that's with VR, man. That's gonna change VR. If that happens in VR, oh my God!
I would hate that in VR.
Different game.
I would hate that to be in VR because it would be game. That's 3 out. That's 1/3 of the game already. That would be life changing. People would. Your draft strategy would be completely different. You would probably have to stack up a little bit on starters as well. I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. Tough. But hey,
interesting. I'm hyped.
Yep.
All right, let's see what else we got here. What else we got? Somebody won Julio Franco and his batting stand.
Demu wants that bad.
Oh, Demu's been
he's been
trying
begging for that one.
Begging for that.
I'm trying to think what position.
He'd never be quiet on it. Yeah, which version of Julio do you get him? Do you give him the Braves version or any of the other teams he was on?
Didn't he play for like 58 years?
Yeah.
He played forever.
Yeah, and for all like 30 teams.
Yeah.
I think he's still playing, isn't he? Like down in Mexico or something?
That's like, you guys remember Astros reliever Ottavio Dotel?
Yes.
Didn't he play on like 15 teams or something?
Yeah, something ridiculous. Half the league.
Oh, hey, episode 9. Who's the best player to wear number 9? I think I know the answer to this. I want Smog to say it.
Boston Red Sox.
I want Smog to say it.
It's going to be Ted Williams, and then the counterpart for the Yankees would be Roger Maris.
Poor guy.
That's a great one too. That's a great one. There's a lot of good.
I actually think Reggie Jackson was a better 9 than.
I mean, Reggie Jackson was another number 9, big number 9.
Yes. So. He just played a lot of seasons, but not all with the number 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Manuso were number 9. a lot of guys who were number 9. A lot of Hall of Famers.
Enos Slaughter. I mean, that's just a big name. I don't really know much
Didn't
about him.
Brady Anderson during his steroids 50 home run year wear number 9? Do you guys remember Brady Anderson? Orioles? Wasn't he number 9?
It was 9 or 4. It was. I know
it was a single digit, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the Orioles?
Just Brady Anderson.
Brady Anderson. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see if we can find it. Brady Anderson.
He's number 9. Yeah, he was number 9.
It was number 9
with the sideburns. Yes. He talk about steroids. Talk about steroids.
I don't think he took steroids that year. He just jumped his home run total by 30 homers.
Right. What about doesn't Baez wear 9?
I think so.
Yeah, can Baez?
Javi
Javi
wears 9.
but
yeah, not yet, but he's definitely he's good.
He's on his way.
He's good.
on his way.
Yeah.
Hey, I had him on my YouTube video for future Hall of Famers, and I know some people are saying like Baez, and the thing is that he hit 3 bombs in that video too.
Oh, Joe Torre wore 9.
Joe Torre, that's true.
Rogers Hornsby. Oh, only 1 season it says here.
Matt Williams was a good one for a while too.
A lot of good players were 9.
Roy Hobbs. Yep. Oh no wait.
Benito Santiago, signature series. Benito Santiago.
He wears 9.
He wore 9 for a while. Yeah.
Wow. What do you guys got, chat? Anybody? Who wore 9? Anybody?
Vinny Castilla. You guys remember Vinny Castilla?
I think we covered them all.
Yeah.
Vinny Castilla. Whew.
Vinny Castillo, the guy that looked like a softball player. Dude, every time I saw him, I'm like, dude, this guy definitely plays slow pitch softball.
100%.
There's a Marlin legend that wore number 9. I cannot believe Adam hasn't said it.
Huh?
Where's your Marlin knowledge? There's a Marlins legend that wore number 9.
Who wore number 9?
He was a speedster.
Marlins legend?
He was a
well, about that,
when I say Marlins legend, is that he plays with the Marlins more than 2 years. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe 1.
I thought you were talking about that statue that was out in left center.
Who was it?
Juan Pierre?
Oh,
Did he Juan Pierre?
Juan Pierre? Oh,
that guy Juan Pierre?
Just one. You remember one?
That's crazy. So Juan Pierre hit like 1 homer every year, and I went to 3 straight years. I went to Marlin games where he actually hit a leadoff homer. Just he had 1 homer a year. Like I was there for each game.
He would have hit 50. You would have gone to 50 games.
I gotta go to more games.
You just didn't know.
Go to more games.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, Deed Gordon used PEDs. Wow, that's crazy.
One of the best moments in baseball history, like of the decade we're starting off a new decade, but this past decade, one of my favorite moments was after the Jose Fernandez passing, and D. Gordon had that home run to lead off the game. Like if you didn't get like chills or crying or something, you have no feelings, because that gave me chills. Oh my! Just thinking about it, I'm getting it right now.
Dude,
like,
there's a picture of some pitcher for the Marlins. I don't know who it was, but they had the tribute with Jose Fernandez's number like on the back of the mound, and he took his baby and like set him next to a number and took a picture of it. And just seeing that, I was sobbing, dude. I couldn't stop crying because his teammate, and he just wanted his kid to have some sort of connection with Jose Fernandez.
I mean, that is similar to this year when Tyler Skaggs passed. The next game, wasn't it the next game? Everybody, they had a combined no-hitter. Yep. They put their jersey on the mound with God,
and they threw a combined no-hitter.
You can't make that up. You can't. No, you can't. Like even if you write a movie, man.
That's why baseball's amazing.
Sports is just incredible.
You're not doing that in any other sport like that. That's why baseball's the best, man. Yep.
It is. No, Big O Buck says Juan Pierre is better than Ramon Lerianos.
Well, Big O Buck is still upset that he cannot get Ramon out. By the way, the Shredder on MLB Network, if you guys don't know, MLB Network has the Shredder, which calculate who's going to be who's the best players by position. All throughout MLB The Show 19, I was saying that Ramon was probably top 5 center fielder. And people, oh, you're crazy, this and that. The Shredder on MLB Network said Ramon was he's going to be the 4th best center fielder in the game. And this is counting Bellinger as a center fielder, which he played like 20 games. So technically, Ramon is a top 3 center fielder. I'm just saying. Suck on it.
He is a stud.
And I hit like 600 with his Life Series card.
Papa Voss says, what do you guys think the most impactful in-season passing was? I think it was that Jose Fernandez.
Yeah.
Munson was a big one. Munson was a huge one.
Yeah, that what Munson was wasn't he a helicopter crash or no?
A plane crash, I believe.
Plane crash. Yeah, that one was
Roy
crucial.
Halladay too.
Yeah, Roy Halladay
Yeah.
was another one.
But that wasn't in season,
It wasn't
right?
in.
And I don't think he
He
wasn't
was
playing.
retired. He was retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He retired after the fact.
Yeah, that Fernandez
I think
one shook me up.
Munson and what about Clemente would be
Clemente,
off season.
yeah.
Oh shit,
But
Daryl
Clement-
Kyle. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
Dude, that one shook me too. That was like the first time I really got emotional over. I mean, that one was because then he like died in his sleep or something, and then like they hung his jersey in the dugout
For
like,
the
that
rest of
was
the year.
insane.
Yeah. Ken Caminiti passed away. Didn't he pass away midway through the year as well? When he was
I
with the
thought he
Padres,
was
I think.
retired.
Did he?
Clemente
some
was in
crazy
off
ones, man.
season.
Clemente was in the off season. It was like right after his 3,000 hit. He was going to help families that were damaged by an earthquake. It's a crazy story, and he still had a few more years. Like how old was he? 37, I think.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at his stats, like he was killing it. The previous like 4 or 5 years, he was hitting 320, 330. It sucks because also the way he died. You know, it wasn't like a
doing a humanitarian effort. You know what I mean? Just Tavares was huge. So was Ventura. Tavares was going to be a superstar, man. That kid was amazing. I'll never forget his debut in the rain. I think he hit 2 home runs in downpour. And then passed away a couple days later, almost a couple weeks.
crazy.
Insane, man.
All right, are we good? Any final thoughts? Any final thoughts?
I think we're good. Just congratulations to Jugsy again on making partner, man.
Amen.
Thank you, man.
Guys, get in there, get your World Series, and get in there and play the beta while it's live.
Yeah, get in there, guys.
Get that feedback, so that we all have a game that we're excited to play in 20.
Yeah, we can't not give feedback and then complain all year. So let's not be those people. Let's get in there and help these guys out, make a better game for us.
Final thoughts. Buy your Yayo merch! Exclamation point merch!
Exclamation point merch. Follow. There's all of our Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram has been on here. Make sure to follow us. We have a new Rounding the Bases YouTube and Twitter. Exclamation point RTB in the chat. You'll get those links. Make sure to follow, subscribe, stay up to date. We're planning on going every week, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Jugsy time. So make sure to check that out for any updates. We're doing it on my channel, but we may be moving it around. We're gonna have more guests. If one of us is missing, we're gonna have more people as well. So a lot of good things. 2020 MLB The Show 2020 content is about to just take off. So be ready. We want to be here with you guys. We're all in this together. We want to see what you guys think. We want to hear your feedback. We want to be surprised.
Questions on the Twitter, the RTB, the show RTB. If you guys have any questions that you guys want to cover, any topics, anything like that, that's a good spot to express yourselves as well, man. Don't be afraid to get in there.
Yep. But yeah, that will do it for us. We're gonna go ahead and send you on a raid. Let's go ahead and try to make somebody's day.
Yeah, man.
We got Sammy. We got Sammy live. He was here earlier. Let's go ahead and send you to Sammy.
Let's do it.
Got 3 people watching. We will. This video we'll post it on YouTube. Hopefully by tomorrow it should be live. But thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Appreciate Jugsy again. Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Smog and Adam after last night. Thank you for joining us again. And guys, take it easy. We're out.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Whoa. And the worst, God